Firstly, I just want to thank all of the community groups that have either appeared here today or who have been active in this space. And I've learned a lot throughout this process because it has been my community who have come to me with their concerns and have raised these concerns with me and highlighted why it is so important that we in this place get it right. I mean, we do have to consider what kind of world do we want to leave for future generations, and that has to be front of mind in any decisions we make in this place. Because decisions we make in this place are long-lasting and have impacts. And especially when it comes to impacts that could be impacting our communities around their health and their well-being. And that's what our communities have raised with us, that they are concerned, they are worried about what waste to energy and the broader infrastructure that facilitates that, what that actually means for our communities more broadly. I also just want to thank everybody for making contributions today. There was so many varied and wide contributions in this space. But I guess it's important to note that I think we're all overwhelmingly on the same page when we're talking about avoiding waste and wanting to move towards an economy where we reuse, we recycle, we avoid creating the waste initially. However, what we are currently seeing and how we're operating, that is not actually happening. And this is why we're calling for this inquiry. The facilities that are being proposed in residential areas, are being proposed in working class communities. Why is this continuing to happen? We need to have a look at that. Are the current requirements around where these operators can apply to plan and have a permit fit for purpose? Some of my colleagues also talked about, which is something dear to my heart, is the Hampton Park Waste Transfer Station, and the EPA decision there should be upheld. And I do appreciate that many of my colleagues in this place have raised that issue and looked at the fact that those that are following the guidelines are doing, operating appropriately. But when it comes to operators that continue to challenge the EPA decisions, continue to litigate any sort of issues that surround the current facilities they've got, it's no doubt that there's going to be ongoing community concern and a lack of trust in these operators as to how they're going to operate these sorts of facilities. When we have 11 applications in Victoria, we also need to question that. And an inquiry process allows that community consultation, which is something that most people raised in their contributions, the importance of community consultation. But it also allows the experts to come in and educate us. And I appreciate that we had an inquiry similar to this only a few years ago. But what was born out of that was the circular economy policy. And we are not meeting those targets. We are 5 years through a circular economy policy and we are producing and creating more waste. We're using more plastic than ever before. Now, I do feel that we can get to a place where we can see the circular economy become more robust, and waste to energy may have a part to play in that. But we also need to make sure that the regulators have the teeth to hold these multinational corporations to account on their emissions targets, on their requirements of how they operate in communities, and that they do the right thing by our communities, because all we're seeing them behave like the way we're seeing them behave currently is they're just litigating every challenge they receive. Again, I want to thank all of the community for being active in this space. We've learned a lot throughout this process and I look forward to the inquiry going forward, and I hope that everyone will support the motion going forward. Thank you.
The question is that amendment numbers 1 to 8 proposed by Mr Eddershank be agreed to. Those of that opinion say aye. Those against, no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that the motion as amended be agreed to. Those of that opinion say aye. Those against, no. I think the ayes have it. Ring the bells.